What's going on, everyone? Chris here with Clutter Reduction Junk Removal. Today we have something exciting coming up. Well, not for you, but exciting for me. Maybe exciting for you. It could be beneficial and information wise. I don't know. But we are going to be going to a new senior living facility I have not been to yet. We're going to be going there to give an estimate and a potential job for a realtor that I have done a lot of work for her husband, who actually sent me a client that ended up grossing a little over $6,000 over the span of a couple of different visits. So we'll probably give them like a 10% discount, and it's actually for their parents who moved to memory care. So they only took the bare essentials, left everything else behind. So we're going to go there and clean out everything. But I thought it'd be a good opportunity to do a little bit of like a live estimate walkthrough to kind of show you how I like to price out my jobs. I do it in a very visual kind of way, and I'll factor everything in as I'm going so it's quick. I'm usually done within a few minutes. When people say, "Oh yeah, you're gonna send me an invoice over later, like of the estimate," I'm like, "No, I can tell you right now." And they're like, "Oh, okay." I like to do it on the spot so it's ready, because the faster you can secure a job, the better. There are way too many variables that come into play when you book jobs days, weeks out in advance. Either A, somebody finds somebody else, they find a better alternative, or they just simply change their mind. Maybe they found someone cheaper, who knows? But the faster you can secure a job, especially with estimates, the better. So I'm going to go through the surcharges, the things I look for, and then the way that I like to kind of scope things out volume wise. And maybe it's something that could help you guys out if you're a little newer to junk removal. In the meantime, though, just a quick little update with the reselling. Our goal this year was to sell $2,000 worth of stuff strictly that we get from junk jobs, not reselling. We're not buying and redoing it or restoration or anything. Just strictly, if I get a dresser off a job, I bring it home, measure it, post it, sell it. We're selling cheap and we're selling fast because I know that I can refill that space by next week. So it's just a little extra profit to get added to volume. And in January, we did about 800. February was like high, I think it was like 990 or something. And then I think right now we're actually pretty close to the same number, and it's only the 11th of March. So I think we'll be pretty good for our goal this month, and hopefully get a little bit extra to make up for the other 2 months. We'll see. But so far it's been pretty fun. It's more like a treasure hunt now than it ever was. Like, I've always resold stuff off of jobs. I've always looked for more stuff on jobs. But now I'm like really focusing on like, okay, I can definitely sell that. I can sell that. I can sell that. And I already know in my head how much I'm going to post it for. I just have to take the measurements. Pro tip: if you're in like a nice clean area, take a picture of the piece where it's at if you're not going to be able to do it on the same kind of wall at your house or your storage unit. So like, I've had a few situations where if it's like a standard gray wall or beige wall, I'll take a picture of the piece against that wall so I get a nice clear open space image with good lighting, and then I'll just go home and update everything. And that's been very helpful versus trying to make room in my back of my house where the pool table is, or do it as storage unit in front of a big orange door that affects the color hue on the piece. So give that a shot if you have the opportunity. I guarantee you it'll come out much better in pictures. So that's it for now. I will see you guys at that live estimate. All right, so here's the job. We did book it. We did a full load plus four bagging fees and 2 extra labors because I have to walk pretty far out to the truck. Pretty straightforward though. Queen bed, platform, desk, miscellaneous. Each closet does have a decent amount of clothing in it. Nothing super crazy. Every cabinet's about a quarter to half full, so not too bad there. Love seat, not a super sofa, recliner, ottoman, whatever, chairs the only thing outside. Dressers, day bed, take it apart. Some stuff in the bathroom. This closet is the woman's one, a little bit more full, as you would expect. And that's pretty much it. So it's nothing crazy. It's just the closets are going to probably be the most time consuming. Otherwise, not too many big pieces. So the way I do my pricing is I will go room by room. The first thing I'm doing when I walk in is just a general scope. I'm just scoping out for the big items because that's what's going to take up the most volume in the truck. And then I'll go through and I'll check cabinets. I'll open all the kitchen cabinets, all of them, not just like 2 or 3, all of them. Checking real quick. I'm just looking to see how full it is. I don't care if it's pots, pans, glassware, chinaware, Tupperware, it doesn't matter. I'm looking for volume. So I'll check all those. Go in the bathrooms, look around there. Do they have a bunch of cleaning products in there, or is it just a couple of toiletries? Check the closet. Is it all clothes, or is it like hidden furniture and a load of shoes, stuff like that? Check under the bed. Are there like 10 totes under each bed? You know, that's what I'm looking for the second time around. But as I'm going through in my mind, I'm thinking about volume. So a standard cubic yard is like a washing machine or a dryer or a dishwasher or a stove. That's typically a standard cubic yard. So figure out how many of those you can fit in your truck and then keep that in your mind. So when you're looking at another piece and trying to compare the size, you can get an idea and say, okay, well, if I were to line that up next to 4 dishwashers, approximately how accurate is that going to be? If you have I have a 17 cubic yard trailer, so I can fit 16 of those dishwashers in there with a little bit of extra room. So I know, okay, if I was picking out a love seat, for example, which is probably pretty similar to 2 cubic yards, then I know that I can fit 8 of those in my trailer if I wanted to, with some room to spare. You know, the 2 entertainment centers is split in half. So if I were to stack those, it's probably a little bit more than a cubic yard. And that's how I'll kind of figure shit out in my head. So, for example, what I do with the kitchen, instead of doing volume, because obviously it's smaller stuff, I'll say, okay, I'm going to have to bag everything up. Let's say that's going to take me, let's just say 3 trash bags. Now I'm talking contractor bags, right? I walk in here, a couple of miscellaneous things, not a big deal. Let's just say 1, maybe 2 trash bags. Bathroom, 1 trash bag. This closet, I'll donate all the clothes, but I still have to bag them up. Let's just go ahead and say about 4 trash bags. Come back out here. Pillows, miscellaneous, 2 trash bags. Into the second room. Pillows, clothes on the ground, anything miscellaneous, all that stuff gonna get thrown into bags. Let's go ahead and say 2 trash bags. This closet's a little bigger. I'm just gonna go ahead and say 10 trash bags all together to fill all this. I don't fill them up to the brim either. I fill them up about halfway, so it's not super heavy and awkward to carry. Plus, they won't fit into the bins I put them in when I donate clothes. So that may seem why it's a lot of bags. This bathroom, 1 trash bag. Now, for me, I can basically fill up 1/8 of my truck with 10 trash bags. So if I'm going through and they say, okay, I'm going to be using 30 trash bags in collective, I know that's going to be 3/8 of my load just with trash. Now, I'm not going to load them up on the ground. I'm going to throw them up top and take use of little crevices and top load them. But I know in my mind not to discount that because that's obviously a lot of volume. So this room in general, let's just go say with all the trash bags from the closet, probably about 1/4 of a truck. All right, go into the living room. All this, probably about 3/8 of a truck. Going into the second bedroom with the day bed, probably about 1/4, maybe 3/8 of a truck, and then the closet will finish it off. So all in all, about 1 full load. And I am parked kind of far away. So I do either hourly or I do an additional 15 minutes and I'll charge a smaller amount of money. So I figure, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and tack in about 2 labor fees. So in addition, I'm tacking in an extra half hour of time for what my 2-hour normal load would be. So I charge for a full truck, an extra half hour of loading, and the bagging fee. And the bagging fee counts for the cost of the bags and for the extra labor it takes to fill those bags. So on paper, they're getting 3 charges, but in reality, it's more like 5 or 6. But I'm not letting them see the itemized view, but I am showing them what they're paying for. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. They do have a cutoff time at 6 o'clock. The guy's gonna pay me cash up front and then leave. And I'll just send pictures of the place done when everything's all completed. So I'm gonna go ahead and speed fill 1 speed pack full of stuff, and then we'll start getting some of this furniture up. 22 minutes. So we cleared up all the miscellaneous stuff, got the back off on the chair, filled up 1 speed pack. This is all the kitchen stuff. The whole kitchen is 100% done. He said to leave anything outside of the refrigerator, which isn't really a lot. I went ahead and just left all the stuff in the drawers and even put the stuff on top in the drawers and just ran the bands on it. So I'll bring this out in 1 trip. Speed pack could be next. We'll put the 4-wheeler under this, bring this out next, and then probably start getting some of the bigger pieces in. I'll leave the backs for the end so I can just top load them if I need to. Otherwise, things are moving along. All right, quick little update. Two good things. One, kitchen's done. We got paid. It's in my pocket. The second good thing is two of the cars left while I was doing all of that. So when I went down, I was able to back the truck up. So I was only blocking one car, but the car I was blocking was a client and he just left, which means now I'm not blocking anybody, which means that I don't have to worry about. That's why I was rushing in the beginning, because when you're blocking cars at places like this, you can't just not, like, you can't block their cars because they need to leave. They don't know what's going on. So now we're going to dial it back a little bit. Maybe we'll record a couple of things. I ain't going to do a specific recording for this Ready couch because it's pretty wide, and a lot of people have trouble getting outdoors with a really wide couch. And there's a trick to it, so I'm going to show you. This is basically our runner speed pack. I have the other one filled up with miscellaneous. Probably going to stay that way. I'll throw some odds and ends every time I go down there. Otherwise, I think we're going to go ahead and keep bagging up the floor, just common areas. We'll go ahead and take the bed off, break down the bed, and then we'll take down the day bed. I'll show you guys how to do that if you've never used a day bed before. And then we're just going to kind of we're going to leave the closets kind of till the end because I have plenty of bags, but that's going to be like top stock. So let's get back to work. This room's pretty much empty except for the day bed. It was really just those two pieces in here. So back to work. All right, so if you don't ever check out my community page, like the channel page, I don't post on there often, but I posted the other day about making these how-to videos, and if there's anything specific that troubles you guys, so comment it down below, and the next time I find it, I'll try to record doing it as a mover to see if it helps. So one of the comments was when you have a really wide couch that doesn't fit through the door. And my initial thought was, are you putting the dolly on the bottom of the couch? Because that's typically the widest it's gonna get. And typically, if I'm using a four-wheeler, I'm putting the four-wheeler dolly on the back side because most couches are usually thinner in height than they are in width. So that's usually the first go-to. And if you can, pop the legs off. These are the ones with the stupid little holes in them, and it's a pain in the ass. But normally that's like the best route. Or take it out on a hand truck and put the corner of the hand truck right here between the arm and the foot. This is going to be your most sturdy side. And then you would just stand it up so that the way the hand truck goes along here. I could do that as well. But just for demonstration purposes, we're going to use this couch. I don't think it'll be too much of an issue to get it out as is, even with the feet on. But I just want to show you how you could do that with a wider piece. So the way the couch is right now is fine. But I'm going to put the four-wheeler on this side of the couch. This is where the cushions would have been. This is the nose of the couch. I don't recommend usually putting it there unless it's a recliner. And we talked about this in the recliner video. I'll tag that somewhere up here to check out. But the problem with putting it on there all the time is there's not a lot of surface area. You'll see once I put it up, the couch is going to continuously want to go this way. It's going to want to keep falling because there's no support. There's nothing holding it in place. And in addition, if you're already in a tight space, you want this dolly to be all the way up under it. You don't want it to be like this. You don't want it sticking out because it's going to get stuck at the door frame. You want it in here. And what we're going to do is we're basically going to take the couch and angle it like this as we go out the door. So that way we can utilize the void, so where the cushions would be, with the door jamb. And we have a little bit of maneuverability that we can play with the shape of it, basically. So I'll put the phone in the hallway recording it so you can kind of understand it a little better. It's not hard, but you do have to be careful because you are messing with door frames in this situation. So don't just shove it through and damage the door frame. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is stand the couch up, and then I'm going to put the four-wheeler under my foot and lower it down, and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. You're going to notice I'm going to constantly have both hands on it. It's going to want to tip to the right or left. There's nothing holding it in place. There is no weight distribution in this situation. So yes, this can be done by yourself. That's what I'm going to show you. But do be careful that you don't let go, because that leg will go right through drywall. That leg will scuff the crap out of a door frame. So be careful. Now, if you guys watch here, watch my left arm. I'm going to lift up on the couch a little bit on an angle. I'm shifting the bottom portion where the cushion is towards the door frame to utilize that extra space on the right. I'm not even worried about the right anymore because I know where the couch is. I'm going to bring it out to the end. I'm kind of stuck there, so I'm going to pull it back in a little and hook it back around the door, and that's all you're doing. You're using that empty space to maneuver through the door frame. So we found something cool in the closet. I'm taking all the hangers off the clothes, and those will get donated separate. But Paramount Pictures, it's a real leather jacket, has a tag on the inside. I don't know if it's worth anything, but we'll look it up. And then I saw this originally, and I just thought it was like one of those like decorative jackets because it has his name in it. But on the back, Panavision Canada, it's like a director's. I don't know. So we're gonna hang on to those two. So far, I have a little box going. We have a big old Tommy Hilfiger like sweater jacket that's in pretty good condition. I'll see if Tanya can sell it on Poshmark for a few bucks. And then this bag was kind of cool. It's actually, I don't even think he's ever used it before, but it's a pretty good leather bag. And then I just saw some couple of little goodies in here, you know, some batteries and some air wicks and a bunch of watches. You know the deal. But nothing really else too exciting. I usually walk away with much more than just that. Quick little update. So the guest bedroom, the bathroom is all done. Closet's all done. I'm going to pop this off right now. Just take the back off, leave this as is. Lamp. These are all the donation bags, and then that came with the bed. Basically, I got everything in here done, taken apart. So what we're going to do is run one more speed pack trip that's going to have all this miscellaneous stuff, the lamp, the donation bags, the chair, miscellaneous stuff like that. We'll put the recliner on a four-wheeler and run those down. That's basically just what's in here in the closet. So I got the bathroom pretty much done except for this little bit right here. All this is going to be like 2 bags. And then we just got to take the bed off. So I'll show you guys how to take a day bed apart if you've never done it. It's pretty straightforward. I'm thinking for the closet, what I'll do is I'm going to save it till the very end, leave space on the truck for a speed pack, and I'm just going to get as much of it into the speed pack as I can, and then bag whatever's left. And that'll just save me a ton of time. So that's pretty much it. You guys remember how I always say mattress bars can be used for more than just beds? Obviously there's a bed in here, but there's also a frame, cushion, a wall cabinet mount. There's a piece of glass down there and a TV and the stupid padding. Basically, it's whatever you can fit between this and that bar, and the dolly handles the rest. So get yourself some mattress bars if you're solo. All right, we're gonna try to Hail Mary this here. So this room is completely done. Everything is done in here. Kitchen's done. I got the chair and the recliner. I got the recliner on this dolly. That's my stuff. So everything here is done. I'm going to try to fit everything into this speed pack and have it be it. I don't think it'll all 100% fit. I took apart that bed frame though, and I basically am going to make like little sides out of this, kind of like a trailer, so I can stack higher, because this is like the last thing going in the truck besides the recliner. So I'm just going to shove as much of this stuff in here as possible and hope that's it. All right, I need one more bag for that. And I'm basically just gonna stack those in the speed pack. These are extra bags. A couple of things in the bathroom, another bag. And then I think I'm taking the white cabinet, I can't remember. Check out this monstrosity. That is a heavy ass speed pack. Got the bands out there to try to hold it in place so it doesn't flip out on me, which I mean, this thing wants to. Trying to hold it like in place. I was even using like the pad to like drape over and try to keep it all together, but that's pretty much it. Everything else is all done. All right, I'm holding the last bag. As you can see, we're a little top loaded. I'll throw the tarp up, use some extra bungees to hold stuff down. Definitely a full load. Make sure nothing falls out there. We got a little bit of a drive ahead of us. That's it. All right, bungees are up. My philosophy is to put bungees anywhere where something's kind of poking out that could potentially fall. So the bag's like kind of in there, but not all the way. Just some extra securements, you know, running things over the top. And just trying to tie stuff down best as possible. Last thing I want is some shit to fall off and hit a car and cause an accident. So the job is done. We're already on the way home. Came out to be a little over $700 with a 10% discount. The guy paid me cash earlier today, shortly after I got started, and he gave me a $20 tip. Plus, I found a bunch of coins throughout the job. So I don't know about you guys, but I keep all the coins and stuff that I find throughout junk jobs, and I put them in a bucket at home, like a 5-gallon bucket. And my goal is to fill it up by the end of the year and then go cash it in. So a couple, 2 years ago, we did a job where we found $968 in rolled coins and a couple of old beat up luggage bags that were in a hoarder house clean out. And I never would have thought to check them until I went to go pick up one of them, and I was like, oh, that's a weird weight. And I shook it and it sounded like coins. And I opened it up and it was 50 rolls of just quarters alone. I was like, holy shit. So I went over and checked the other couple of luggage bags, and they were all the same thing. There were pennies, dimes, nickels, and quarters all rolled. But I found a lot of I'll find little coin jars, mason jars full of coins and stuff. And I'll bring it all home and dump it into a big bucket. So it's at the end of the year, it's an extra little payday. And I'll usually just use that for something random. But yeah, I won't sit there and pick up every little penny I find, but if there's a couple of quarters in the drawer as I'm going through it, I'll just pick them out and put them in my back pocket. So I think I have about $7 or $8 worth of coins right here. So extra little tips, can't go wrong with that. But yeah, if I could have done one thing differently on that job, I would have charged a full hour. I only charged an extra half hour at a time. But I probably would have charged a full hour. It was a little bit more because it was who the person was. But I was already giving them a 10% discount, so I should just charge a full hour anyways. It would have just helped me out a little. But can't do nothing about it now. But we're heading home. We should be home in, 20, 25 minutes. That's all. I'll see you guys next time. I am starving, which is probably why I'm so talkative. But that's it.